Well, I wasn't expecting all the responses that I got. I have an update on my neighbor and friend, and I want to pay honor to Dr. Charles Stanley. Stay tuned. Hi, and welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Sheila, and in today's YouTube Shorty video, I have just a couple things that I wanted to share with you. Number one, I have done 2 videos on YouTube stating things that bother me about YouTube, things I don't understand, things I question, etc. And I am just overwhelmed by the responses I received, and I thank you all so very much for your comments. It seems like the majority, I would say, I think every single comment, you all felt the same way. You all see the same thing. And there is very much agreement amongst us when it comes to YouTube and greed and making money and things like that. I think it's so very sad that people have lost sight of being able to have a channel, to share, to build a community, to have a fellowship, to have a safe place that we can all become friends, get to know each other, and help each other. Now it's all about selling and making money and affiliate links and you name it, it's there. But we'll go into more of that later because I do have a couple more videos planned because I want to get this all out in the open as far as how I feel about it. Now there may be some people that will come along and don't feel the same way, which is perfectly fine. Everybody has a right to their own feelings and opinions. But that includes me, and I'm gonna share mine. The second thing I wanted to do is give you an update on my friend/neighbor who had surgery a week ago. I did a video, and in that video I mentioned that I had a very dear, close friend and neighbor who was having a pretty extensive surgery, and I asked for prayer. And I thank each and every one of you for your prayers because the surgery went well. She spent that week in the hospital. She is home now. She is recovering. It will be a long recovery, but she is recovering, and it couldn't have gone any better. So many things could have gone wrong that didn't, and I attribute that to all your prayers for her, so I thank you for that. The last thing I want to do is honor Dr. Charles Stanley, who passed away this past week. And I'm going to do that in my Inside Beauty tip. So in today's Inside Beauty tip, I just want to pay honor and respect to Dr. Charles Stanley, the most anointed man I have ever heard. He preached the gospel and the word of God like no one else. Dave and I have been following Dr. Stanley for over 35 years. I cannot tell you how much our faith has grown and increased just by listening to him. We have learned so much and deepened our faith on a continual basis over all those years of listening to his teachings. I have a funny little story to add in here. When we lived in Richmond, Virginia, I cut my kids' hair. I've always cut my kids' hair. And when my two sons would come over for their haircuts, I would always have them come on Sunday morning. Now, most people would cut hair outside or in the bathroom would be a normal place. No, not me. I would spread a towel or towels or something down on the floor in the family room and put the chair right smack dab in front of the TV on Sunday morning. And I would have Charles Stanley on. He'd be giving a sermon. And my kids would have to sit there and watch it. And I was just trying to plant seeds, or let Dr. Stanley plant the seeds. And I wanted them so badly to hear what he said. And this was years ago when they were young men and not in their faith like they are now. But I know they knew it was a setup, but I didn't care because every word Dr. Stanley preached was important and a very learning and teachable moment, and I wanted them to be filled with it. So I don't know if they were listening or took much in, but they didn't have a choice when they came to my house on Sunday morning for their haircut. Dave and I always had a dream of going to Atlanta and attending Atlanta First Baptist Church, which is where Dr. Stanley preached. Unfortunately, we never got there, and we also had a dream of taking his Alaskan cruise just to be in his presence and be able to hear his teachings on a daily basis and meet him in person. Oh my goodness, that would have been wonderful. We never did that either. But we have been involved in Touch Ministries for many years because of his commitment to Christ, his commitment to preaching the gospel and preaching the truth. He had a lot of resources, free resources, to help anybody that wanted to learn, anybody that wanted to listen, anybody that wanted to grow in their faith. And his resources have helped us over all these years. He had these healing damaged emotion cards. There are little cards in here with prayers. I mean, that's just one example. I'm sure if you follow Dr. Charles Stanley, you know about his In Touch magazines that come out every month and full of devotionals for the month. And then there's the Charles Stanley or In Touch Bible, which we've had for many years. I could go on and on with the wealth of information he provided just to save souls. He was an amazing man and a true disciple of Jesus Christ. If any of you all followed Dr. Charles Stanley, which I know some of you do because we've shared it in the comment section, but let me know in the comment section below. I know I have done some daily devotionals on my channel for my Inside Beauty tips from his materials and from the little cards he sends and things like that. He has just really marked many, many lives in this world. And I am so happy for him that he is now with Jesus. I thank you so much for being here today. I truly do appreciate it. And until we meet again, this is the old girl signing out. See ya!